Today, we celebrate the men who shape our life, inspire us, and show us what it means to be strong, responsible, and kind.
Fathers play a pivotal role in shaping generations, and today, we're mighty proud to shine the spotlight on them.
Let's acknowledge the many challenges that many Nigerian fathers face, from societal pressures, from economic pressures to societal expectations.
Wow, great fathers indeed. In today's Nigeria, traditional gender roles are evolving, and fathers are taking more active roles in childcare and household responsibilities. Welcome to Weekend Deal. My name is Thelma Obaza.
And we are mighty excited to have you join us as we celebrate the Nigerian father. Now, what role did your fathers play in the woman or the man that you have become? Please, we'd love to hear your stories. Join the conversation. My name is Patience Eloyi Abba.
Celebrate you. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. And it's in such a creative way that we open up our conversation today as we together say, Happy Father's Day! God bless all the Nigerian fathers. You know?
But let's quickly talk about people like you whose fathers have got to do with God. God bless them. Thank you for all your sacrifice, Daddy.
Daddy, we love you so
much. We love you so much. And for my father who is still here, Thank you, Elder Itodo. We love you.
Rest
Thank
on
you.
In peace. God bless you.
Yeah.
You raised amazing sons and they are doing well.
Yes.
Thank you. Patience, that was a fantastic reminder.
Yes.
Okay, it's time to talk about the modern day Nigerian father. The roles of fathers, they be influenced by modernity, sophistication. Are fathers still doing the authentic thing for which they are called? Well, our background feature, we set the tone, and NTA Jazz has done their due diligence. Let's see what they found.
In Nigeria, family values and traditions hold immense significance. The role of a father is regarded with utmost reverence, as fathers are seen to be strict disciplinarians.
Hey, that is back from work.
It is true.
The father that we've always known as an African or from the sub-Saharan Africa to Africa and then of course Nigeria is someone who is designed by the perception we have of a provider. He is a protector of the family. He's the foundation of the family. Is expected to have been the stabilizer, financial stabilizer of the family, and as well as a major role in terms of caring for the family and designing the values of the family.
Today, Nigerian fathers are embracing new responsibilities and breaking away from authoritative stereotypical figure as they have become more nurturing, involved, and emotionally connected to their children and family at large. This shift in fatherhood roles is largely driven by the increasing cost of living and also working mothers who depend on their partners to support and share parenting duties.
You know, before the 19th century, it was basically the man. But the moment we got into the 20th century, that movement pulled women out of the homes. So when it did pull women out of the homes, it did not change their role of childbearing. It only created the opportunity to access more income and economic, self-reliance came into it. And then it changed the way interaction started coming in. And that has affected the way man has been able to deal with this issue. So you've got information over, explosion. You've got opportunity that has created the time and skills for women to get back to work. And then it also have seen the movement of more and more people away from the villages where the mainstay was agriculture and man just needed to go provide from the land and come in. But the moment you come into the urban area, the land is not even available for the farming. So you need the blue collar job or the white collar job. And then they are even, not being able to be provided all the time. We've seen the shrinking of it because of technology on the other side. So that has really changed his ability to be the traditional provider, traditional protector, and stabilizer of the family.
This change is seen by some as beneficial for both parents and children, as it fosters stronger family bonds, provides positive role models for children, and contributes to their growth and overall well-being.
In 2023, the number of workers in Nigeria stood at 88 million. You'll be shocked to find out that 43.6% were men, 46.4% were women. There were more women in the workspace than men. However, the workspace given to women was not the traditional one. They were mostly in the informal sector. But we all know that the informal sector generates income. So that literally contested the perception of a man that I am the financial provider. And right now, the women are. And you find that in different homes. If you're not careful, you find more than 60% of those who are maintaining the financial stability of the home as women. And so what role that you had that gave you the opportunity to direct, to give orders, now you need to manage that situation because you're no longer you're not the one that is bringing the whatever on the table. You remember we always say, what are the women bringing on the table? Which means we're supposed to provide the table. Now she provides the table and what is on the table. So what else can you do? Technology and our time has distorted that. And so we must be able to start taking the responsibility of getting involved in the family, staying with the children, being part of their education, being part of their growth. And because we have the rare opportunity of hindsight, we can use that to remain as fathers within the family.
As the Nigerian father's journey involves harmonizing the best of both worlds, embracing progress without losing sight of cultural identity so that he can build a meaningful, resilient future for his family.
Oh, welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are celebrating the Nigerian father for their resilience, for their love, for their tenacity, for that broad shoulder they have that carry the family. Fathers, we celebrate you. We'll be going over to NTA. NTA Knowledge now for their contribution.
Spell no again.
YES.
Are you serious?
Fatherhood in the modern era presents a unique set of challenges as dads adapt to new roles and responsibilities.
When you want something from your teacher in school, do you cry or you ask nicely? What do you do?
Nicely.
Okay, you ask nicely. So why are you crying at home? No, you need. I need to hear you. Why are you crying at home?
Ice cream. From societal expectations to workplace challenges, therefore providing emotional support and mental health care for fathers cannot be overstated.
When you get to work, there is a lot more expectation from you as a man to put in your best, to put in your time. And if you're trying to climb in your career ladder, there is a lot more pressure on you to put in the work that will make you be noticed. You get to see that people in their late 30s, early 40s begin to grow gray early, and it tells you of something. It tells you of stress. Now you start hearing of diseases like hypertension, that's high blood pressure. There is the lack of happiness that stress brings. You're just no more fun to be around.
In our own context, we find that one, because of the tight economic structure we have, and secondly, because of the cost of living, it's not really easy taking care of such responsibilities. So it puts a lot of pressure on the man.
In recent years, there has been a growing recognition of the importance of fathers' involvement in their children's lives.
Right from the time my wife put to bed, for the next 2 weeks, I was with her throughout the process. You could see that emotional support. A lot of times women don't also understand the amount of weight that a man carries when his wife is about to put to bed. We're not as emotional as women, but at the same time, there is a huge burden that we do carry and a huge sense of expectation. So you can imagine then mixing that with work. It's not going to work very well, right? So that 2 week is a good time to be with your family, welcome your new baby into the world, help set up things.
The current economic downturn has led to a surge in mental health issues, with financial instability being a significant contributor, leaving many fathers anxious about their ability to cater for their loved ones.
As a young man starting off a family, your family is important, right? You have to stand to be able to help others. So it's important to prioritize stabilizing yourself. I think that is very important. I do understand that as much as you can, help those who are around you, help your own parents, help people, but it's also good to prioritize. One of the things a man wants is a person who understands him. You see, while we men are physical in nature, we're looking for different things in a woman. One of the most important things a man wants is an understanding wife. Another thing that is important that men don't necessarily talk about, they want a family that sees them as the hero, right? You see, I wouldn't necessarily tell my son, go and tell everybody around in the world that you have the greatest dad in the world. But the day he says it, without me letting him know, I feel like, okay, I'm doing something, right? So you want a family that celebrates you.
Men are being involved in a lot of orientation program, skilled program, training and all of that. A lot of measures by the current dispensation to bring about, employment, not just employment in government offices, but vocational employment and skilled employment.
The rise of modern dads is a heartening evolution in our society. By working together, we can create a society that values and supports fathers, allowing them to thrive and build strong, loving relationships with their families.
Children, today is Father's Day.
Yes, Daddy.
Say Happy Father's Day to me.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Thank you.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Wow, isn't that amazing, Patience? So
Amazing,
sweet.
amazing.
We can't say it enough. Fathers, males are role models, and they play a pivotal and integral role in shaping the lives of everyone around them. Sometimes it goes beyond their biological nuclear family. They need to expand their influence around them to touch people who can benefit, so they can have a positive impact on the society and in the world in general. Today we have several awesome and amazing fathers with us here in the studio. It gives us with pleasure to begin to welcome them. Dr. Eworum Evans is a retired Deputy Commandant General, DCG, of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. But like Patience said, his integral role today, first, is that he is blessed to be a father. His profile is next.
sir. You're welcome to Weekend Deal.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome to Weekend
Thank
Deal.
you.
Okay, so Dr. Daddy Evans Eworum is not alone. There's another daddy in the house. Like I told them, and Thelma and I said to them, your first role today is the father. So we're going to call you father or attach daddy to whatever we say when we call your name. Our next guest is Chinyere Okori. He is father, pharmacist, and an entrepreneur. Let's see his profile.
So, Father Chinyere Okori, we welcome you to Weekend Deal.
Thank you.
Great to have your company today.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you are raring to go to let us know how well you are enabling those under you and those around you. And we have another amazing father. You saw him earlier. He opened our show dramatically with some talking drum mystery. Yeah. And believe you me, his son, who is less than 2 years, also knows what to do with the stick. But let's welcome him in a royal way, because he's privileged to be a father of 2, and his daughter is also here with him. He is Bami Akbala. Of course, you know he's a drummer. But his given name is Ayontoye Ezekiel. His profile is next.
Welcome to Weekend Deal. Welcome to Weekend Deal.
Thank you.
Okay. I will start with you.
All right.
And my question will be, what does fatherhood mean to you?
To me, fatherhood means everything. Because you are the one, as a father, you are the head of the family. So you take charge as a father. How you want your children to be in the future, you take charge. You are the one in direct of their lives. So father means everything to me.
Everything.
Yes.
Everything.
No, that's a loaded question.
Absolutely.
We welcome you to Weekend Deal. Thank you for opening up in such a brilliant way. You know, you dazzled the fathers. Yes. Okay, fathers, you are very important to us. Dr. Eworum, I'll be coming to you. You are retired but not tired. And we know that the role of fatherhood is a lifetime.
Sure.
You can't say my kids are married, they've left the house, so I'm going to rest. And also, you're also called to mentor other people. Some are orphans, some they've lost their fathers, or fathers are ailing, or not within their immediate environment. So we have an enormous responsibility with you, say. Okay, happy Father's Day now.
Okay.
You are blessed with 3 sons.
Sure.
And
So let me you know, sometimes women, they say we bring some emotional intelligence and some emotion to raising our children. But fathers sometimes have to wield that big stick so that we have a well-grounded child. Are there times when you feel you were too hard on any of your boys? You know, they did 1 or 2 things and you felt, no, maybe mommy has taken some soft steps. Let me now wield that heavy hand, or else I don't know what tomorrow will yield. Tell us.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, just trying to key into what my colleague here said, that fatherhood, as far as Uncle says, everything. I also add that it's also a responsibility. Fatherhood is a responsibility, because even when God created Adam, for those of us who are Christians, he made him the head, even without family. because he was the one created with the necessary raw materials ab initio. But when God found out that he was wallowing in abject loneliness, he now decided to, Bible recorded that he was placed under slumber. And then a rib was taken away from him, unconsciously. I think that was the time the first operation started in the world.
The first surgery.
The first surgery, yes. So, and when he came in and saw that somebody is already existing, and God said, this is your helper. Now, in the family, the issue of headship of the family is no longer in dispute. You are the final arbiter, just like you have in the National Assembly, you have the House of Representatives, you have the Senate. At the end of the day, it is the president who will either approve or disapprove any bill that is sent to him. That's the role of the father. And we are feeling that in the modern system, a lot of things have changed. We are going to, as we progress, we will now say the pros and cons, the old system and the present system. The issue now is not even using the big stick. There are so many strategies with which the head of the family will manage the whole system, and then at the same time make them understand that at least don't allow your children to fear you, but make them respect you.
But give us an example. Give us an example.
Now, for men.
Yeah. No, humane. Give us a direct example.
You should show love. Even if you are flogging your child, you should show love. You know, naturally it is said that when you beat a child with the right hand, bring him back with the left hand. They don't be a terror in the family. Don't make yourself people, children will be fearing you. Each time you come back, everybody will hide here and there. I mean, I think it's a medieval system. So this time around, bring them together. And maybe by the time we are going to begin to talk of the role of men, we'll definitely bring up some, strategies.
Okay, you actually dovetailed into my own question. You actually did that. I was going to ask Father Pharmacist Entrepreneur, Mr. Curry.
Yeah.
Society is evolving, that's what he just said.
Yeah.
And but for you as a father, how do you balance the modern way of raising children and the traditional way? How do you balance it? Or do you go all traditional or all modern? Or are you balancing?
Okay, thank you. I believe that I had to look at how we grew up. That's how I would derive the traditional, then what is obtainable now. Okay, I think what every father or every system will have to appreciate is that society is evolving.
Yes.
And it's evolving in different ways that are not determined by us. First of all, when we were growing up, we could walk in the street and see an adult that's there to correct a child. That means there was something like community effort in training children.
True.
Now, it takes a village.
Now it is different. It is even difficult for, depending on the kind of neighborhood you find yourself, it's even difficult for a neighbor to boldly talk to your child, to talk to a neighbor's child, without feeling that is intruding into someone's space. Okay, then it simply brings down the greater burden and consciousness to the family. And the father happens to be the head of that system. So he has to understand that evolution and manage it better, because it simply means that he has to be more conscious. That's what the modern system now has brought to us. He has to be more conscious, and he has to customize his approach, because every child is unique in every sense. I mean, you may have three children in a family, but they don't operate the same way. So the father who creates the moral compass for them to navigate has to find a way to customize it to fit each child, because he has the ultimate destination. He knows where he wants them to be. The goal is the same, but the approach may change. You want every child to come out well, but it's not the same way that you handle that you're going to handle B.
Yes.
It means
That means the father must understand his
he
children.
must understand the children, and he must be available.
Yes.
He must
Emotionally
be
and physically.
emotionally, physically, psychologically. In fact, he has to build that all-round individual. The society is no longer available as it used to be. People who were raised in the 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe early 90s, may have a different, from what we have right now.
Absolutely.
So it simply means that father, the modern day father, has to understand that trajectory and make sure it fits the current expectation.
Okay.
I mean, Thomas, this modern children come with a lot of mental health issues. My mental health.
Every second.
My mental health.
I don't want to be traumatized.
I don't want to be
But we are
traumatized.
saying we're not traumatized. We know the role that the father plays and that the mother plays. They must work hand in hand to ensure that we have a well-grounded child. Thank God for how well our fathers are doing.
Yes.
But the reason why we're having this conversation, like I often say, is that perhaps in some areas fathers can do more. Dr. Aruma has said clearly that, went into biblical journals and history. He brought up the good book and quoted verses, tells us how God brought us, into this life. Man first, woman came after. So he also said, there's no dispute between who is the head of the family. Yes. I remember when I was growing up, we had mothers, bringing their salary and handing over to daddy. Then daddy will now disburse, I don't think that's the practice in many homes. That also talks about the modern way families are living and surmounting and surviving. Bami,
yes,
you are bringing in the bread with drumming. Perhaps your wife is doing something else. So do you need her? Because you have some responsibility you do. Do you now discuss, how to manage your finances? Or you just do everything and then she now supports when and how she likes? How do you balance it in a way that each party, you are comfortable, your wife is comfortable, and there's peace and joy and love in the home?
Thank you very much, ma'am. As I was brought up, my father will never do anything outside the wish of my mother. So I was brought up like that. So whatever I want to do, either financially or otherwise, my wife has to be involved. So I don't take out my wife in anything I do as a father, because the burden of being a responsible father can never be taken only by a father. That is my experience in marriage. So we cannot take it all
So you
alone.
need that great neck.
We need that
support.
Helpmate support. Because
in the sense of the word.
the Bible even says, whosoever findeth a wife.
Well, it's a good thing.
So if you have a good wife, then you have a supportive wife. So I want to thank God for my life. My wife has been a support to my life. So
you don't need to tell her, darling, bring this.
Yes.
She knows what to bring and how.
Sometimes I don't even need to tell her. She will just come.
Madam, if you're watching, take your flowers.
She will just come. See what I've spent too. I've spent 50,000. I've said, I was okay, take this 30,000. So you do understand? Sometimes I was even transfer to her. I say, I spent 30. I spent 50,000. I say, just manage this. And you say, okay, no problem. I will even say, thank you, God bless you. Do you understand? And God has been blessing.
Amen. I think that's what sometimes women want to hear. Not asking them what they bring to the table. I spent 50,000. Okay, take this as a support. We like it. You're a good father. God bless you. So, Dr. Evans, what is the best advice you ever got from your father? Do you remember?
Well, thank you very much. There are so many. It's just legion.
Legion.
I got from my father. And let me just say this. Every human being can be viewed from so many prisms. You can, when in my area, when somebody said, you are the true son of your father, that means that you are close to your father, you imbibed a lot of, traits and good good ideas and pieces of advice from him. Now, when my father was alive, there is a little diversion from what is happening now. We were afraid of my father. Because that was his. So, then parents always ensure that their father, their children, do exactly what they want. Contrary to what is happening here now, where you can engage in arguments with your son or your child and your father.
Yes.
It wasn't so then. Our own system, his own system, in fact, one of the laws in my father's house then was that if you move out and fight, whether you're right or wrong, you are wrong. You must take some strokes.
Yes.
And that he so conditioned us that you have to talk in yourself in any situation. You don't just go and say, I'll do this, I'll do that. Unlike now, where a child will come back from outside and tell him, Mommy, this guy beat me. Even if the person is younger than you, you just go and report to your mother. It wasn't so then. So because of the discipline that was inculcated into us, the thing led us up to today. So coming to our own stage, our own period now, there is little to the right and little to the left. You don't just say the way it was before, so shall it continue to be. Now, talk to your children. When there is need for you to scold them, you scold them. But don't allow it end after scolding. You don't massage their ego. You call them, come here. Why did you do this? That's a modern angle of it. But just like my colleague said here, the society is becoming very dynamic. Dynamic to the level that the one political philosopher said that the panorama of life is moving so swift that the mind can no longer comprehend what the eye sees. Now, if you use the old system to deal with the present situation, you'll get it very wrong.
Wow.
Now, allow the situation determine. That is why when it's called leadership, the best leadership style is situational leadership style.
Okay.
When the situation demands that you should flog.
Okay.
When it demands that you should scold, you scold. When it demands that you should do what we call a way of pretend as if nothing is happening.
Okay.
It's also a strategy.
You do that too.
So
no
more,
it's
no
not
system.
Every time the father talks.
Yes.
Sometimes you watch.
Both the old system and the new system should come together.
Okay,
and you apply.
You must combine both. Okay,
Yes.
You're watching Weekend Deal. Thank you very much, all our darling fathers in the studio, all our darling fathers watching. In fact, the leader of the nation, the father of all, God bless you for leading us aright. Weekend Deal takes another break. We'll be right back. We urge you to stay with us and keep the messages coming in. We want to share your experiences with our fathers here and everyone who is watching. The break beckons.
my girl.
Nice.
Yeah.
Moyo, maybe you can stand for dance for us now. You can stand. Nothing limits you, my darling. Come on. Come on. King lyrics. Move now. Why? Woo! Moyo girl, you didn't allow Nigerians see your steps.
That was beautiful.
Well done,
well
Bami.
done. Well done, well done, well done. Okay,
Daddies, I hope you're enjoying the drumming.
They did.
I didn't see you move.
Yeah, it's part of the celebration. Okay, so I'll come back to you, pharmacist, Father Okori. Sometimes fathers feel underappreciated.
Okay.
Is it because men are not, they're not very emotional? They don't tell us how they feel.
Okay.
Beyond the financial support, how can fathers allow us to understand their emotions? Allow us know that, okay, I need to be appreciated.
Okay.
What do you think? Is it because you guys are too, you don't tell us how you feel?
Okay.
How can you get more emotional? I think that should have been my question.
More vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
To open up.
Open up.
So your
Cry when
family
you have
can
to cry.
see your-
Shout when you have to
see your
shout.
heart.
Okay. Well, I think this is from the foundation. Naturally, the man is configured to carry and bear responsibilities. Now, since he understands that he's the last point, it's just like coming out now to say, oh, I just paid the fees of my children. What do I expect? Somehow, the system expects that you just did your job. So why are you announcing it? You know, that kind of impression that you just don't need to. You are doing your job. So why do we have to shout or jump about it? Okay, so, and I believe a lot of men also have come to realize that that's how it is. But, you know, a discussion like this also would make it clear that, you know, there was a series we were watching that said the rich also cry.
Yes.
That time. And that means the father is also human.
Yes.
He likes what human beings like. And so it's also the responsibility. I mean, maybe I don't really have to, you don't need to see him cry for you to know that he bears something at the background. But conscious followership too can come in to say, how is it going? You know, probe to see whether there is something to do. The man may not easily express that because...
So, I mean, so it's never going to happen?
No. It's not that it's never going to happen. But the point is, like I said, you may not just change how it is, how it has been, as what you have, your innate qualities, what you were created with. Like I said, it's just like we have, my colleagues have said here, he understands that he is responsible for so and so. Okay. So if he's not the one, if the next person does it, maybe any other person from the family, he too will have to appreciate the person. It's like you're doing, like somebody helping you. You need to appreciate the person helping you. It is my job to raise my family. Okay, then someone was created to help me. So I have to appreciate that the person is helping me. That is what it is.
But the person too ought to also, now she's asking like a direct question. Men were raised to be tough. But now we know that sometimes that toughness gets to breaking point.
Yeah.
Some partners do not know when to step in and how.
Okay.
We're not asking you to teach us,
Okay.
show us, give us an example where you will want your partner to step in emotionally and be there for you.
All
And
right.
not just when you have lost somebody,
Okay.
as in someone has gone permanently. When you are traumatized, when you are going through issues, because men also have hurts. They have issues at work. They have issues in the extended family. How can madam know what to do? And what are some examples of what she can do to make daddy, the head of the home,
Okay.
feel a bit better?
Okay, fine. I think this is where communication comes in. Active communication. If you form a system, a habit of communicating regularly and everything, it becomes easier for the next person to know. But if you don't communicate, it's actually difficult for the next person to know what's going on in your system. So I think the best thing here is for men to begin to communicate more and in a manner that they will be clearly understood. Because even in that communication, there are sometimes the communication may sound like they are speaking in parables. There are things, there's a way something is going on. So somehow it may look very shallow, but deep down, the man may be going through a lot. But if you break it down to the point where the next person understands that this is what is going on, and you can also check if the person is understanding you, you know, by also asking to verify that you were understood, then you would naturally expect that quality of feedback.
Good one.
I think that's where basically active communication.
Because sometimes you may have passed a message. So a message is, there's no communication when the other party has not effectively understood what you were trying to pass. But let me come to you, Bami. When we were younger, it was the women gathered in the kitchen, oftentimes. Now we have young men in university, you know, the cost of living is getting interesting, and sometimes you have even mothers saying, my son, I'm bringing rice for you, I'm bringing tomato for you. He will start looking around helter-skelter for who will come and help him cook. Are you raising your son differently from the way some of our brothers and fathers were raised? Is it integral for a man to learn those things that were hitherto domiciled in the area of women, or domiciled just for women?
All right, thank you. The thing is, like me and my wife, the nature of my work and my wife's work is different. My own nature of my work is, I can go to work anytime, you can call me anytime. Most times, I find myself at home more than my wife does.
Amazing.
You know, my wife's nature of work is, she will go around 8 and comes back by 6. So most times, I'm at home with kids because I'm into entertainment. So our work sometimes is not all day of a thing. So all this, sometimes I find myself in the kitchen.
Yes.
There was a time one of my neighbor was like, let me say, Mirua. The guy is an outside guy. And he was like, you that don't even have work, go and cook for your wife before your wife comes back. I was like, if you know the nature of my work, it's not that I go to work every day, you know. But most times, the domestic works at home, I do it. So, I can't imagine my kids.
I applaud you.
They are learning from us like this.
Good one.
Yes.
Amazing.
Sometimes, this my boy, you just look at him, you see him doing what I might have done. Like, when did you learn this? But mind you, they are seeing it. So I don't need to train him in some areas. He knows already.
He's been trained.
He's
as
been
you
trained.
do.
Yes. So you just find him doing some things. Sometimes you just hold broom, sweeping. Why? How? Do you get? Sometimes you do things you like. So I don't need to train him. He's safe. So of a team.
Looking at you.
Yes.
No, but you are training him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Doing. That's
yes,
what
that's what I'm
training
saying.
he
They're
needs.
still saying the same thing. So I don't need to tell him do this, do this. he has already been saying it.
Ah, good one,
So
Daddy.
you grow in it.
Good one,
And
Daddy.
before you know it, because that was how I was trained.
Good
That
one,
was
Daddy.
trained
Yes.
by practical example.
one,
Doctor,
Daddy.
I'm going to ask you a direct question, a very short and direct question.
Okay.
How often do you tell your children, I love you? Not in giving, not in supporting, using the words, I love you.
Well, thank you very much. the word love is a concept. And I wouldn't want...
Daddy, I worry.
Daddy, I know it's a concept. African
You
fathers.
know-
Do you tell your children, your boys, for example,
Yes.
I love you, son.
Now, it's a natural thing. And the issue of the word love is alien to African culture. Now, it is not only how to motivate a child and to show appreciation in what he's doing. It's not only by using that word love. You can as well motivate them by saying, come on, you assuming there is something they did. You, as you are coming back, you buy some little things and give to them.
That's our African daddies.
Yes,
Good
that's
one.
African system.
Yeah.
Now, the modern one is, let me just tell you, it's not every time you say, I love you. Go to explain the fact that you are indeed and actually in love, just like you do with women. Some of us don't believe in that word, love. But you should demonstrate whatever appreciation you want to do practically. Take this, do this. You know, there are some people you will see, when they come back, they say, honey, I love you. Have you asked what they have gone out to do that will now make you pretend?
Don't shake this table. Don't shake this
let me
table.
tell you, I'm a practical, let me tell you,
Daddy, I worry.
I'm a practical human being.
Daddy, I worry. You know, we are learning from you.
Sure,
But
sure.
also learn with us.
Okay.
And
Children, children want to hear I love you.
Yes.
Nowadays.
No, we do it.
Okay, you do
But
it.
what I am telling you is that it's not in all cases.
Yes,
You
not
use the
every
word,
day.
I love
even when you don't mean it. Yes. It's a natural thing.
Okay.
So when I come down, there's no way you can produce a child and you say you don't love that child. Every child needs affection. Every child needs affection. And when you come down, how are you? You know, how are you? Come, they will gather around you. It's a tacit way of saying I love you.
Thank you, Daddy.
Not when you say
Thank you,
I love
Daddy.
you, I love you. And when in actual fact you didn't mean it, they may have done one or two things that you
Naughty
didn't like,
things. Okay.
which will counter that word I love you.
Thank you, Daddy.
But to show
Thank you,
love
Daddy.
practically.
Daddy, we can show and we can see. Thank you, Daddy.
Thank
You even told us earlier, Daddy, that you know, you do the carrot and stick. You
Yeah.
scold and you draw close. Good
Beautiful,
one.
beautiful.
Before I take a few messages, I want to ask Daddy Okorie something. Daddy Okorie, as much as there's love in many homes, there are times when there are misunderstandings.
Okay.
You know, how should couples, maybe using yourself as an example, how should couples settle and understand so that they can be eased? There will be no tension in the home. Because like he said, our children watch us. You know, how? Because we understand you should do it quickly, to close the gap quickly. We used to learn from our parents that don't sleep on an argument. My dad's own was, we will not go to bed. If angry words were exchanged, we won't sleep. You know, we must either in the room or before we get to the room. So is this thing happening today, and how? Have the methods changed?
Okay, no, I don't think it has changed. Every system has a way of settling their own challenge. But I think it's very important for them to understand what they want to achieve. Because it's like the home is a permanent school for the children. Everybody is learning every day. So the first thing I think I do is, I've always said it to my wife. I said, look, we have a room. We can always discuss. And nobody must hear our voice. Our voices must not be heard. You may be angry, I may be angry, but let's not create tension. Let's not make it look like the system is collapsing. So when you are not happy, find a good way. Now, again, it also comes to the nature of the communication. You might want to tell somebody something, but the way you're saying it would actually alter the expected results. So it's a two-way thing. As a man, as a woman, if you want to communicate, make sure you're looking at the end point. Because what you want to achieve determines how you're going to present it. If I want to make you angry, my words would clearly show that I actually intended to make you angry. If I want to make you happy, my words will also show that I intend to make you happy. So it's about the purpose. Let's communicate in such a way that it will lead us to our desired end. And that's where I think that communication will also play out.
Thank you so much for my sister Curry. Daddy Curry, it's communication still remains the key to having a smooth relationship. Now, there's this argument out there that we are busy raising our daughters and we are not intentionally raising our sons, and that domestic chores, like we said, are not gender-based. Now, NTN will be telling us how to raise the next generation of fathers. NTN, we are watching.
4. C is for car. That is 5. High five. G.
Biologically and naturally, boys grow to become men, but still not all men are ideal and great fathers, as fatherhood requires intentionality, guidance and mentorship.
You don't become a father because you give birth. No. You become a father because you are able to chart a course, to give direction, to give interpretation. A father should be able to bring up the children on a platform where they can find speed in life, they find direction, and they find fulfillment.
Do this one. No.
In life, a lot is expected from parents, especially the fathers, when it comes to raising responsible, respectable, and very emotionally balanced sons, husbands, fathers, brothers, and colleagues.
What is this? Don't worry. No, let me see. Go and rest.
A boy child must learn how to sweep. A boy child must learn how to wash dishes. A boy child must learn how to cook. Because why doing all these things, why passing such virtue to them? You are helping them and you are helping your tomorrow.
These are part of the things that will make you have a good home. These are part of the things that will make you have a good marriage, that will make you a good father.
However, should there be a difference in training between the boy and girl child when it comes to domestic chores, being empathic, emotional, and family relationships?
Okay, what?
You never go to me.
Is that why you're crying? Let me see.
Give me that marker.
Sorry.
It is often advisable that you start bringing up the children, including the male child, in their formative stage from day one. I allow my children, especially my son, to observe that empathic part of my life, that love part, that emotional part of life. I bring him into it. How? While he was quite younger than 7, they see me play with their mom. Then, of course, quite younger than this, and their mom was this very slim. I will back her, play around in the house, carry her, pet her, take good care of her. And one of the days, my son woke up, we watched us. You know what he said? He said, "Daddy, when I grow and marry, I'm going to take care of my wife. I will carry my wife. I will cook for my wife. I will take care of my wife. I will do good things for my wife." You see, these are part of the ways we transfer, part of the ways we build noble fathers for tomorrow.
Just moving gradually.
The relationship between a father and a son is the bedrock of a child's character formation, and this simply means that a responsible father is a product of a stable and emotionally balanced family.
What are you doing?
writing A, B, C, D, 1, 2.
Nico, talk to me.
Okay, yes, we must be intentional when raising the next generation of fathers, of husbands, you know. Let's do it for our brothers, you know, let's do it for our sons, you know, let's do it for all the males around us. Well, Bami is ready to set the tone with another extraordinary drumming rendition. Shoulder, the hand, leg. Yes, yes. Oh, that shoulder. Your leg, your leg. Use your leg. Amazing. You know, it's so, you know the most beautiful thing about what he's doing? His kids are watching him live. So they've seen Daddy in so many ramifications. Daddy at home making dinner, Daddy at home doing chores, Daddy now on weekend do performing. And King Lyrics is learning. Little Moyo is also learning. God bless our Nigerian males. You are an amazing group of people. Well, let me just take one or two messages and then Patience will take us to a break. Okay. Professor Moses Ogbaji from Makati, Benue State says, I congratulate all fathers. It is not easy. But I beseech our wives to use their strong maternal effects properly on the children to properly and effectively complement the roles of the fathers. Thank you, Prof. Someone say Happy Father's Day to our amazing drama. You didn't tell us who you are. From Enugu, someone said, are they watching our program? Thank you for your link, but you didn't tell us who you are. You say, I'm reporting from Enugu. The fact is that this economy is affecting a lot of families in Nigeria. Perhaps it means that some fathers may not be able to effectively discharge their financial responsibilities. I'll just take one more. Newton from Sapele Delta State says, please, I want to know, why is Father's Day celebrated once in a year? And what are the major roles of fathers?
Okay. Newton, if you stay tuned here, we'll be answering your questions and more. But the truth remains that we must celebrate our fathers. If you've not called your father, please pick up your phone and say Happy Father's Day. It's not about going going on Facebook or social media handles to say Happy Father's Day. Make that call now. We're going on a break. When we come back, our celebration here continues.
It's Weekend Deal, and we're celebrating our fathers today. Great men who are taking a lot of enormous responsibilities and who hold the spiritual, in most cases the financial, the biological leader of many a home. And we know they are doing it well. They are doing it responsibly. We've been talking with three fathers in the house today. We've had the privilege of learning so many things, and we'll continue to learn. We've also taken your responses, so keep them coming in. But let me ask Daddy Okori. Daddy Okori, Elder and Daddy Ewurum already alluded to the fact that no father can be successful alone, or as successful as he can be to get to the zenith, to raise children who will be responsible without a helpmate. Yeah. A good helpmate, that is. There are times too your helpmate goes through issues. She's traumatized. One or two things may have happened in the home or at the office or within the extended family or maybe her business or whatever. The role, the father, her husband, her partner has a role also to help her feel okay. How do you combine your own strength, using your children, if you are so blessed with, to let mommy know that there are issues on the ground now, but we are here for you?
Okay. First of all, the father has two roles. I mean, two major parts. He's a husband. He's also a father. Now, he's a father to a wife. He's a husband to a wife. Then he's a husband, and that is to a wife. He has a wife. Then he has children. Okay. That means he has to capture the fact that he has a primary responsibility to fill that gap for the wife when there is any need for that to happen. And as the coordinator of the system, he will also understand that he has to understand that the children, that is himself, and the children will always be there to make sure that the wife, if there's a problem, okay. So if the wife has any challenge, it is his job to emotionally fill that gap and make sure that he restores stability in the system. And that function is one of the primary roles that he has to play in the family. So, like I said, the consciousness is critical. He needs to know that this is one of my key roles in the system, and he has to play it every time.
Oh, amazing.
That's the very key thing there.
Very key,
yeah.
Very key. The need for emotional
support. It sounds
support.
so theoretical.
Well, maybe the next question about...
Okay,
yeah, but that's the truth. Anyways, my next question will be, and I want you to go round, and I'll start with you, sir. Yeah. What is your proudest dad moment? What, I know there are many of them, but tell us one of your proud moments that you say, oh God, thank God I'm a daddy, that you were so proud.
Well, there are many.
Yeah,
there is not supposed to be one. Every day comes up with a new development.
Okay.
But specifically, I will say my proudest moment was when I got married. When I got married and came back home with my wife, because there was a trauma. I was traumatized in a way. Because when my father died, I had no wife. And everywhere looked as if there was darkness everywhere. When you, like somebody defined, he who gets a wife gets a good thing. And looking at it from the Bible, you find out that when God created Adam, Adam was uncomfortable, unconsciously. He didn't know he was wallowing in it, but God observed it.
Yes.
So when God observed, he said, this guy needs a helper. And then incidentally, he brought that created Adam from man's rib, which means you must identify whosoever is holding your rib. And when I discovered that this person is my wife and it comes to me, even if I blink my eyes, she will understand. Even if, communication, just like we'll be talking about communication, it's not only physical communication. There is non-verbal communication.
Non-verbal, yes.
If I can communicate to my wife, she understands me very, very well.
If I blink eye,
she will understand. If I relax like this, if I were to stay like this and decide to stay like this, she knows why I decided to fall back. It's communication. So, I am telling you that if you have a good wife in the house, you must be happy. You must be, in fact, you don't just have to name it. So long as he's doing those things you love.
Those are your own proud moments.
Yes, I will be so proud.
Tell me about your proud dad moment. A point, just a point. I know there are many, but tell us one that made you say, oh yes, the day my son or my daughter did this, I was proud.
But mostly, most times, whenever I pay my children's school fees,
you feel happy.
That's your proud moment.
Because there was a time I couldn't pay my children's school fees, so my wife paid. So I was like, how? So later, after the following term that I paid the school, I wasn't like, yes.
That's how it feels.
So this school fees I'm paying is something, because I was not too happy then when I couldn't pay my children's school fee. My wife just paid.
Congratulations,
as she said,
Daddy.
I've paid. So
that's deep and that's really good.
Daddy, we celebrate you. Well done.
Okay.
Well done.
Well, like Dr. Rup said, I have so many of them, but I'll just cite the first, the one, like the first one, when I had my first son. I was very happy. Yeah.
Congratulations. God bless you. Today you are blessed with 3 beautiful children. Okay, the messages are coming in. Emmanuel from Makodi says, your program is so key. I can't miss watching the Weekend Deal every weekend. Keep it up, and happy Father's Day to all the real fathers that Nigeria is beating hard on. But guess what? The fathers are resilient. They are pushing, and they are pushing family values high. Weekend Deal, still the best. Woo! Okeme Emmanuel from Makodi, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Both of you like Dan Shah, this is my presenter. Thank you. Because we are happy. Because we are supporting fathers just like you. Okay, you didn't tell us who you are, but someone says as a father and a teacher who has taken time to raise students, including undergraduates, through productive lessons in traditional virtues. How does one take one's children through the same lessons? Because what you teach outside, you must also bring home, especially when a mother insists on the so-called modern-day trend.
Wow.
Our daddies will answer that. We have one question, even outstanding. Yeah. Okay, Mrs. Donna from Abuja says, happy Father's Day to all the good fathers in the world and in Nigeria. I feel sad right now because my husband is late, but he will never be forgotten. But in me, his wife, he also has the best husband he left behind. I'm doing all he did and ensuring that I'm able to do even more. May God rest his soul. Thank you, Mrs. Donald.
God bless you, madam.
Someone says, my name is Good Luck. It said, happy Father's Day to all the good fathers out there. Isaac from Lekki also says, happy Father's Day. Someone is asking Mr. Okorie a question. He said, Okori, please, want you to answer it, okay? He said, okay, I think we already asked that. How do fathers settle their differences or misunderstandings in the home? Especially when they know they are going to the same bed and the same room. I think Mr. Okori has already answered that. As if we read this, he already answered it. Okay, someone said, a father must be able to play with his family, must be good at playing. Okay, just one more. Someone said, good morning, NTA. My name is Salisu Tale from Kano. He said, keep on moving, and God bless all fathers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming.
So,
well done.
My question would be that, as a father, do you have a favorite? Do fathers have a favorite child? I'm going to go around. Don't call anybody's name. I don't just say, do we have, or it's the same? Because mothers are always accused of having favorite children.
Yes.
Do fathers have their favorites, or because your emotions are never shown, we don't know?
Okay, thank you. Theoretically, one might assume that, or people will tell you, don't identify yourself with any particular child in the family. But naturally, when a child is behaving well, when a child is very intelligent, when a child is highly domesticated in such a way that when the mother is cooking, when this one is happening, you see them coming up, doing those things that will please you. Definitely, you can't help
but love
tilting towards that area. But don't do it in such a way that the rest will know that you love this one. In my house, let me just tell you this. It is not because I love all of them so much that I cannot say this one is the best. But there is particular one that is always coming closer to me more than the rest. And this time I'm lying that if I'm saying he's the only one that can jump in, start climbing on me, and the others will be looking at you and say, this guy doesn't fear. He doesn't respect anybody,
And you love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's natural. But what I am saying, by word of advice, is that don't create a situation you cannot manage by saying, this is my best. This one is the best. This one is this. But continue to inculcate that value, those values you appreciate. Cause them to imbibe them. So that it will be, but ideally, no father except a child that is, that has deviated so sharply that you can't manage it again. And that child will know. Children, the issue of love and then loving is a symbiotic something. It's a symbiotic relationship, both between you and your wife, between you and your children, and so on. There are some children that will come. The moment you come back from tour or so, they will rush. Some of them will jump the fence to come and hug you. Some will stand and start watching you. Let daddy come in first.
Different
It's
personalities.
different. It's not that person doesn't love you.
Yes.
Like my last boy will always want others to go first. When they finish, she will hold me and hold me so tight. That is her own system.
Yes.
His own system.
Yes.
So what I am saying in effect is that, let me just say this. The fathers are no more playing the roles they are expected to play. There are agents of socialization. Now, even training of children has a sort of curriculum you apply. The family, the first school the child must be exposed to is the family.
Yes.
If you miss it in the family, just like somebody building a house, if the foundation, if there is a structural defect in a building, there's nothing you can do about it again. You will continue. Each time you see the house, you will be frowning.
Yes,
but if it's gotten right from the foundation, when you send them to school, the teacher cannot perform miracle when the foundation is bad. You have to ensure that you come very close to your children. You should be emotionally supportive. You should always find yourself around them. You should always be at home. There are parents, there are fathers that hardly, stay with their children. You can't find them at home. After drinking, the next thing is find them on the bed. Early morning, they move
out again.
Find time to be close to your children.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Daddy Ewurom. Let's also hear from Daddy Okorie.
Okay.
Start with the favorite. Do you think some fathers are favorite, then move in?
Okay. There is always a natural temptation to want to identify with a particular child, for so many reasons. Maybe because you believe that's the one that resembles you. Maybe because he's the one just flowing in your direction. Maybe just some, but like Dr. Ewurom said, it is very important not to make that very clear or obvious to any of them. Like what I've always told my children, if you can't say it before me, don't say it behind me. So if there's a case and someone brings, maybe one of them is complaining about the other, so go and bring the person. Let's stand in front of. And if I'm taking my decision, I will give you my reasons. So you don't think that I am favoring.
You're being biased.
I'm biased. I'm trying to do it because it's this person. I will give you my reasons. And I will be sure you have understood my reasons. So if there's any punishment attached to it. There was even a time I formed what I called the courtroom in the house.
I love that.
Wow.
Something similar.
So someone, if there is anything that happens in my absence, the person will keep it. I did that so that I will reduce the level of conflict that they will be having. So when you know there is somewhere you have to report to, you wait. So when I come back, everybody will see it. Okay, what happened? The person will state his case or her case. Then the other person, did it happen this way? Wow. And then why did you take so step? What do you think? Do you think if you had done it this way, it would have been better? We are bringing out reasons already because we're doing it together. Yes. At the end of the day, do you now see why you were wrong? So we all leave that courtroom, the so-called courtroom, fulfilled.
That Daddy has been fair. Justice has been served.
Everybody knows.
So that's where it is.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. But I want to ask you another. Let me tweak it a little bit, Bami. Yes. Bami, they said train a child in the way it should go, so that when that child grows up, he or she will not depart from it. And Dr. Ewurom has talked about you correct, you also pet. How do you discipline your children? How do you ensure that, there's a court process here, Daddy has also shared his own, but how do you discipline your child?
Okay.
When they have done something wrong.
Yes, sometimes I must be sincere to you.
Yes, we are learning.
Because the Bible said, spare the rod
and spoil the child.
Yeah.
Yes.
They know. I beat a lot. That is the fact about me. Yeah. But sometimes, after I might have beaten them, I call them.
That's what he does.
This is how it's supposed to be. Yes. This is how. As small as this one is, I used to talk to him. Talk to him. This is how it's supposed to be. You don't do this. This is what you do. You don't do this. This is what you do. But sometimes, I beat. That is.
It's biblical to use a stick.
Yes.
But the carrots should not be far away from you. After the stick, get the carrots. And then it will be balanced.
God bless Nigeria. God bless all our amazing fathers. God bless you, Godwin, for always showing up, both at home and in the workplace, to give us Sports Summit every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Only on Weekend Deal. Okay, many messages came in. We thank you for sending them in. We'll not be able to take them all, but let me take this one because this father expressed a different angle of what makes him happy. His proudest father moment. He said, thank you for your amazing program. Happy Father's Day to all our dear fathers. He said, a father's proud day can be, and mine is, anytime I come home and I see the entire family happy. He said, that warms my heart, and it makes me know that we are doing well. Honorable Priest Chinwo JP, well done. Happy Father's Day to you.
Father's
and all the amazing fathers that have been a part of our program today. Okay, we're starting off with our wonderful words.
Yes, so we're going to have
from our fathers.
rounding off our words
Okay,
from our
Bami,
father.
we'll start with you.
Okay.
I just want to advise fathers that we should try as much as possible to raise a good generation coming, because we are what, like me now today, I am what my daddy embedded in me today. So whatsoever society want to picture tomorrow is in our children, the generation coming. So we should try as fathers to raise them in a good
generation. Great
manner.
fathers ahead, because you cannot be a wife beater as a father and expect that your son is not going to beat his wife. You're only joking. So let's hear your own final words.
Okay, my final word is a fact that all of us should be conscious of the fact, we fathers, that whatever product we produce from the family is going into the main society.
Absolutely.
And you will be so disappointed, just like you find people who play football. When you find your child doing well in a football match, you will be happy. You have molded him in such a way that he is not going into the society to make you proud. Don't always think that what you are doing in your family, in your home, will not have implication in the main society. It's not going to be domiciled within your family alone. The consumers of whether good behavior or bad behavior is just only for the family. It's going outside. The problem we're having in our society today, insecurity and the rest of them, is because some of the fathers reneged in their responsibilities. They couldn't bring up the child very well. You know, we have divorce cases today, and so many other things of the society, people going into Yahoo and the rest of them. It is not in the best interest of the family, the society. Therefore, fathers should wake up and arise to their responsibilities and now begin to come up realizing the fact that what they are doing in the house is not going to end there alone. You are sending to the society.
Feeding it into the society.
You are feeding the society, either with good behavior or bad behavior. And that is why we are saying that don't depend on the school. Are you going to prepare a substandard child to send them to stay? Because it's the next stage of socialization. It's the next agent. That is school. Are you now when you fail to do your duty, expect the school, the teacher who is not well paid, who has not been paid, to now give you the best?
Even when they are well paid.
Is it the society, the peer groups,
that will come and
everybody,
help you?
yes, that maybe didn't come from very good homes, coming to impact good behavior and value to your child? Do it from the house.
Thank you, Daddy.
So that the society will be better off.
Words of wisdom. Thank you, Daddy.
Thank you. Okay.
Words of wisdom.
Okay.
Please, sir.
Yeah. Like I said earlier on, I think what I would say to the fathers now is to become more conscious. Society is dynamic and is evolving. We have to evolve with society. We don't have to stick to what we used to know and say that's where we should be. Everybody, for instance, now when we were growing up, we were not exposed to social media. Today we are. We have social media. We have all those channels. How well are we, integrating ourselves into the current realities? Because sometimes, if you don't know what your children know, it is difficult for you to also correct them. You need to be able to understand the frequency they are operating in. So you need to fit into their current world to be able to understand. So sometimes I want to watch what they watch.
Absolutely.
I want to see what they are watching.
Absolutely.
And even if they have tabs or things like that, I want to know what is in those tabs. And I also need to explain why you don't have to do X, Y, Z.
Yes.
This is the reason, because you see, these days, like Dr. Urum said along the line, somewhere in the program, he said, our fathers then were like, the rules were straight. You take it or you leave it. Now, The children of these days,
You're negotiating.
they
Communicate.
They communicate. So
you explain.
they want to know why you are taking the decisions you're taking.
Yes.
And if you're not able to explain it very well, they may keep quiet, but you will know that they have taken another decision. So you'll be able to measure how well they feel free to come to you and to discuss with you, and the kind of things they want to discuss with you. Because if you don't have that, if you're not able to capture that, it is very difficult. You will just have people with double lives.
Okay.
Put the ad before you.
Thank you, pharmacist Daddy Okorie. The director, who is a father in the making, Mr. Ridwan Umar, says it's time to go. Series producer to join us to say Happy Father's Day. Producer Suzanne and Rita also saying Happy Father's Day to all Nigerian men who are leading their homes responsibly. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you.
From our DG to all our colleagues who are fathers, Happy Father's Day. Michael Abba, Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, everybody. God bless you.
God bless you.